At Light Up the Streets 2014, Lancaster offered a shining example of how even the most dreadful weather can't stop the show. From 6:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. on Friday, November the 7th, upwards of 7,000 people braved monsoon-like conditions to take an altogether new look at historic Lancaster. Along a route running between the medieval castle and bustling market square, Light Up the Streets created a family-friendly trail of discovery in a series of interlinked light and sound installations located in key areas of the city centre. Despite driving rain sweeping across Lancaster for a large part of the night, the event swept people along a magical and memorable stroll through an illuminated journey of the hidden heritage of the city. The thousands who braved the downpour enjoyed a multitude of free performances across the city centre and plotted their own trail to entrancing, adventurous, site-specific artworks, music and dance.
And I think that's our strength, that it's kind of quirky and interesting and different, and I think that's what people actually want from Lancaster. And it just makes me really excited, you know, when things like this are going on.
The theme for the 2014 renewal was Lost and Found. It encapsulated key elements of Light Up the Streets, including individual exploration, the stroll, and reclaiming and seeing afresh the heritage of the city and its buildings as they are transformed by illumination and animation. Audience experience and participation is at the heart of the event. This year, people of all ages got involved, with the creation of facade in Sun Square, at the newly opened Storey Gardens by a special heritage lottery-funded project.
All the young people came to the gardens and made a visit to the gardens and were actually really inspired by the gardens themselves. As you enter into the first part of the gardens, there'll be a piece called the Wishing Tree. And there's joss papers. People have written their wishes on them and been pasted to the around the trunk of the tree and illuminated.
Or as young performers in Made at the Storey and the spellbinding Ludus dance pop-up vignettes.
So over the past 10 days we've just been interrogating different stories and different pastimes of Lancaster. So we look at the Pendle Witch stories, which you can't ignore in Lancaster. They can expect a real rich, diverse collection of quite visually striking vignettes which look at both movement, costume, music and speech. It's a kind of a real pick and mix of all these different tones and textures.
Light Up the Streets also pulled off the trick of being a relaxed, informal, light-hearted arts event, as well as one with powerful and challenging moments. And the event highlighted the excellence of newly commissioned work by award-winning jazz and hip-hop star Soweto Kinch, the brilliant video projection specialist Illuminos, and leading choreographer Gary Clark, as well as from local and emerging artists sourced beyond Lancaster.
In 2014, More Music are just doing 2 events. We're doing this one, Lighten Up at Judges' Lodgings, and then Facade in Sun Square.
Alright, let's go!
And this one here Judges Lodgings is a celebration of children and their power to change the world.
Very varied, and that's good. Beautiful singing and beautiful playing.
Facade is a real experiment, working with a great musician, Soweto Kinch, and Ben McKay, who has gathered a group of musicians, and they're kind of playing a game with sound and light that should be quite an experience for people who end up in Sun Square, I think.
Expect to come and spectate, but also participate. It's going to be fun and pretty intense.
Music, the combination of the music, the live music, we didn't have that back in Dublin.
Last year was brilliant, this year's brilliant too. I mean, it's just what we need.
As the first instalment of Light Up Lancaster, the Friday evening was the perfect starter for day 2 of the city's family-friendly Festival of Discovery. The following day, Light Up the Skies took centre stage, with a full day's programme of activities leading to the culmination of the festival, the annual fireworks spectacular. Audiences warmed up for the fireworks with a comprehensive day of entertainment, including guided walks, lantern making workshops, intriguing build-a-rocket craft sessions, and a fun fireworks trail at the City Museum. All these cleverly themed activities encourage residents and visitors to learn more about the history and traditions of Bonfire Night, ahead of making their way to brilliant viewing spots to enjoy the firework extravaganza launched from Lancaster's medieval castle.
The truth will out. There is no hiding on this roundabout. There is no hiding. There is no hiding.
It's the best event of the year. That's fantastic.
Falling star.